The Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference is coming to Dallas, Texas, February 16, 17, and 18 in 2018. If you know of a better way to get the latest insider knowledge about crypto, to hear directly from the top minds in this field, to interact personally with 800 fellow crypto lovers, hodlers, investors, miners, traders, developers, and founders, then I'd like to hear about it. If you don't, then you don't want to miss out. Register today for the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference. Go to bitcoinsuperconference.com and register today as a super early bird to get the lowest rates on tickets and hotel rooms. That's bitcoinsuperconference.com.
Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost Here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Future Tech Podcast. My name is Josh Thomas and I'm here with Dror Medalion from BitJob.io. How are you?
Hi Josh, I'm perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, were you impressed that I got your name right?
I did. It's a hard Israeli name. I always tell my mom she should have given me a global name, but I'm not doing the same for my kids,
Right, yeah, so you're naming them things like David and John and Josh.
Yeah, well, actually, I gave my son and Guy is the name, so Guy is pretty global, I guess. It's an English word as well, so.
That's right. Okay, so BitJob.io, if I understand it, is a peer for student employment. And so you've been on our podcast before, Dror. Tell us, for those of us who are hearing you for the first time, tell us a little bit about what this is.
Okay, Josh. So first it's the second time here on your show, and I'm grateful to be here. And basically, we did. Let's start from the beginning. We were working on this project, myself and my co-founders, for the past 2 years. A lot of time before the ICO mania started, and we ran our campaign at I think it was August. We started the pre-sale, and then on September it was the actual ICO, and we raised around 8,000 ethers, which back then was $3 million. So and when we started BitJob, it was actually a social project, and we wanted to connect students globally, all around the world, in order to create some kind of ecosystem for them. And you said P2P employment, but today we understand it's much more than that, because if you think of a global ecosystem for students, what that means, it's not only the job themselves and the payment the students will have. It's also the consuming power here on the platform, because those students globally, in each country, have their own needs. In India, they have their own needs. In Canada, in the Netherlands. And when I say needs, I mean, like, if you characterize a Canadian student, he's pretty different from an Indian student, right? So what I'm doing, I'm contacting employers and specific business partners in different countries. And I'm offering the local students like a custom suit. So besides the actual payment the students will get from professional employers on the marketplace, they can actually also spend and purchase services that are fit to their needs. When we started this project, we thought about the studential Fiverr. Fiverr.com is a very known marketplace for short-term jobs. And we thought about freelance.com or Upwork, or all those marketplaces today that offer online jobs. But today we understand, almost 6 months or more than from the end of the campaign, we understand that students need much more, because they need a complete suit that will fit them, and not only jobs, not only making a living. And this is what we do. We basically we like to call it paint the the cash flow, right, in each country. We characterize the students. We see which businesses he like, what beer he like, what kind of insurance he wants to purchase, which are the local banks over there. And we know how to offer this custom suit for him. But the core business is the professional employers, because I want to give those students a chance. I want to give them a chance to work while they're still undergraduate. That will make sure the experience they will get will make sure they will have an easier career path.
Okay, makes sense. And so what would you say, since the last time you were on, it sounds like there have been a lot of new developments and you've gone in several different directions since then. What's happened a few months and where are you headed now?
Okay, so after the campaign ended, we started developing, rapidly. We just hired our developers. We expanded the development team. Currently in BitJob, we have 20 people employed, and 12 more are acting as our advisories on the board. So we have developers working on the pilot, but it's actually the final beta. So it's not the alpha pilot which we already ran. And we are expecting, based on our milestones, to release that on the end of this quarter, maybe in middle of April. So that will be a huge milestone for us. We are excited about it because it will actually be the first minimum product that we're gonna release. And for us, it's it's a dream come true, because beside building this platform and building a startup, actually, regardless of the blockchain technology, it's an emotional project for us. We get emails all around the globe, sometimes even from countries you can't even imagine, and people are just saying, I want to work online, I love your vision, I want to get paid with cryptocurrency in order to buy an airline ticket tomorrow, because I can't today. And some of those guys, they don't have a bank account even. So it's a visionary idea, but we already get thousands and thousands of people, all around the globe waiting to start working, waiting to start being involved globally with the employment market. And regarding other milestones, we have a complete new website and new branding that is going live in a week or top 2 weeks, and it's really in the final stage. We're gonna release it, and so that's also exciting for us, because we took this new vision of this studential ecosystem, and we also conveyed it in our new logo that is going to be released soon, and the new website and colors and everything. And I'm excited about that. The team is expanding, and we are working on the networking as we speak, meeting professional employers, businesses, corporations, globally, not only in Israel, not only in the Netherlands, when we are heavily rooted, because we also share a partnership with the Dutch government, and they're going to assist us embed this platform in the universities and unions. So we are really excited. This quarter and these next 5 months are going to be very crucial for BitJob, and a lot of good stuff are coming.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. And so if I'm a student, what kind of jobs do I see on this network?
Okay, so we are always emphasizing that we are a degree-relevant marketplace, which means that you will basically insert your details and your experience, but you're a student, right? So you don't really have any experience yet, but you do know to do certain stuff. And for starters, you can tell me which degree you're studying at and what year you're at, and I would just show you this specific segment. So if you're a designer, if you know how to design some logos and some branding, I can offer jobs with that segment. If you are a computer science student, right, and you know how to code, you know some JavaScript or PHP or HTML, I can offer some QA task for you. If you study industrial engineering or economics, I can offer some Excel sheets, analysis for you. If you study marketing, I can offer social management for you, or online marketing in the blockchain industry, and not only in the blockchain industry, because every company we talk to always lack of good community managers and marketers. So it's pretty much every segment you can think of. Those are online jobs, short-term jobs, so it can be 20 hours or 80 hours of jobs, but obviously they are in the level suited for the student's skills. And students accept that because they have great skill set, and they are willing to get paid lower than graduate students, which is okay. It's a win-win game for everyone.
Okay, very good. So that makes sense. And so take us through, as you how long has this project been in development?
Well, we started working on the alpha in the beginning of 2017. Many months before we actually published our white paper or published the ICO. The first concept was built on October 2016. I remember that because the team ourselves here, our childhood friends, and my two other co-founders, Elad and Aviad, are also brother-in-laws. We always mention that, so people will understand how strong this core team is. And in the past, we were entrepreneurs for a few years, and we always knew that the win project for us will come from something emotional, something that will actually assist us reshape someone's life. And I know it's a bit of a cliche, but we honestly believe that. Like, if you want to succeed in something, you don't look for the money in any way. Just think of how you can change people's life. And later on, when we started just reviewing the industry, like Ethereum was in its early days, we started developing smart contracts for the voting and reputation model, because we thought, okay, students today need some kind of a tool, a democratic tool, to vote, right? To vote for the union, to vote for their budget inside the university. And we started from that angle. Like, we started just developing smart contracts in order to just try the water and fill them. Many months before we even knew what an ICO was. And later on, when we, I think it was the early projects was Chronobank and some other projects, and we just saw, okay, first we have many other features we want to develop, like an affiliate plan, like a payment wallet, like the ranking system and reputation. We just rapidly started working on that, and we put out our alpha out there, just asking people to register and test it. And once we started working on the ICO, it was obvious for us that we have many other big plans ahead of us. Like, the minute we get the funding, and our goal was very modest. Like, we knew that we just need those between $2 to $4 or $5 million, which are a lot of that's a lot of money. But back then you had ICOs with $100 million, and we knew that we had a specific development plan that would get us there. So we worked very hard on building that development plan and building our development team, so we can get out this product today. Like, we don't want to wait 2 years like any other futuristic project out there. This is the reason why we built BitJob as a hybrid model. So we have certain stuff that will be on the blockchain, like reputation, like verification, like the resume, the actual dynamic resume which we built for each student, like the affiliate plan, right? All those features will be on the blockchain, and we will have that advantages. But some stuff will still be on a centralized server. And when people ask us why, it's because I want to do this change now. I don't want to work on a fully decentralized environment and release something in the next 4 years. I want to get something, go to market in 2018. That's the goal here. And this is what we're aiming to do.
Excellent. And so as far as, students and job opportunities, where do you see the technology, specifically blockchain and in that industry? Where do you see this evolving over the next couple of years? Do you see some sort of disruption in the way that people look for work?
First let's we wrote some articles about that. We used to call it Industrial Revolution 2.1, not 2.0, because it's not only the digital employment, right? It's the blockchain digital employment. So it's like the next step. And when you think about the advantages, there are so many of them that you just ask yourself how our companies still, you need sometimes hours to convince a company to get on board because they are so not mature with this technology yet. And blockchain gives you the option to go global. And this globalization advantage, and this is, for example, the globalization of a cryptocurrency with no involvement of banks and credit cards, it just blows your mind. Because if you think of an Indian student that can get paid and then book a flight because he got paid from a Canadian employer on my marketplace, and he got paid by STU coins, our cryptocurrency. Then he just booked his flight on EasyJet, for example, which we are in close contact with, and other airlines. Then he would just land, in Canada and buy beer and buy books and buy some other services, which will all accept cryptocurrency or the studential coin, the STU. And this is our vision. And that can only be done on the blockchain, with no conversion, with no exchanges, with no involvement of the current financial system. And that's regardless of, the obvious advantages that today, if you think of a resume, a CV, every student needs to prepare himself for his future career. And today on LinkedIn, everybody is a CEO and a president, right, of something. It's just an awful spot to be. Like, everybody is a CEO when they are 22 years old. And on BitJob marketplace, it won't be like that, because you will have a dynamic resume listed on the blockchain, ranked by the employer. Everybody will see how much you got paid, when you did that job, and if you got 5-star or 4-star for that, and why. And it's pretty futuristic, because that can only be done on the blockchain as well. And that's only the tip of the iceberg, we like to call it, because if you think of businesses around the globe, they want to take a bite of this technology, and we are offering them this new revenue model. I'm offering them a huge consumers market all over the globe. So employers from specific countries didn't even thought they will interact with a Mexican student or an Israeli student or students from Tehran. That it's like it's the next future of employment, and not only digital employment, but the blockchain employment. And we are really, we're true believers, a true maximalist in not only Bitcoin but blockchain technology in general. So we are here for the long run.
Excellent. So this has been Dror Medalion from BitJob.io. Any final thoughts before we wrap here? No, you can. I would just say that you can meet us this week on the Texas Super Bitcoin Conference, and we will be there. Our team will be there, and join our pilot and final beta that will be released soon, and visit us. Join the revolution. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for having me. Very good. Dror Medalion, BitJob.io. Thanks very much. And hey, that wraps it up for today. We'll see you next time on the Future Tech Podcast.
The Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference is coming to Dallas, Texas, February 16, 17, and 18 in 2018. If you know of a better way to get the latest insider knowledge about crypto, to hear directly from the top minds in this field, to interact personally with 800 fellow crypto lovers, hodlers, investors, miners, traders, developers, and founders, then I'd like to hear about it. If you don't, then you don't want to miss out. Register today for the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference. Go to bitcoinsuperconference.com and register today as a super early bird to get the lowest rates on tickets and hotel rooms. That's bitcoinsuperconference.com.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.